I'm fourth generation, they're fifth generation. I grew up on a dairy. Dad sold the dairy in 1976 when I was sophomore in high school, and we transitioned to beef cattle. And when I was young, I remember when Dad only farmed 160 acres, a lot bigger than that. We're over 2,000 acres now. Cow-calf operation, all dry land, corn, wheat, milo, soybeans, mostly a commercial Sem-Angus, Simmental-Angus crossbred cow herd. Farm management numbers would be a part of it. We're not first adopters. I want to see a little bit of proof that things are going to work, but things are done a whole lot differently than 30 years ago. We're mostly no-till. We do still work wheat ground a little bit. And then the beef side of things, on top of genetics, Cami is really into cattle genetics. Colton's more the farm side, but they both have cattle. But yeah, always on the cattle side especially, trying to never just market an animal. Try to have some, so buyers know, have some kind of background, what we've done, that kind of thing. So we're not just marketing commodity stuff. That cattle business are even more important than the farm business, because crops, a lot of that boils down to weather. And the management on the cattle, you can control things more with management than you can on the crop side.
Last year's drought with the cattle and feed availability, we were able to bale some CRP and bale some corn, and we had some corn stalks to graze. And so very thankful God has blessed us with rain this year. Compared to last year, it was not a fun year, and there's a lot of concern of how we're going to get through, but it's great to have the rain we have this year.
Yeah, going to grass. This year it was still very, very dry here. They were feeling it more than I felt, because I'd lived them before. May 14th it rained 3 inches. And we've had 13, 14 inches from May 14th till now. Allowed the cow herd to stay together. We didn't sell any cows because of the drought, which that was a big goal. I remember from previous droughts, cow numbers getting down. If you can hang in there, it's a big deal. And the price right now, it's a big deal. There's no $1 million decision in this business. There's $1 million $1 decisions.
We're conservative in our risk taking usually. We're willing to always look at new things to see if it will improve, but like he said, we don't just jump on the first bandwagon that comes along. So
at the start, buying land felt really risky, but that got easier as you do more of it, and it's so much easier at this age than at 30. There's no comparison.
I would say also buying land. I bought my first piece with an FSA partnership loan, so able to take advantage of those lower interest rates, but it's still a lot of money that I don't have and a lot of debt compared to what's in the bank account. And so that's still in CRP. It expires in a couple months here, and so I'll be able to start grazing that next year. So get to see the fruit from that, and that'll also help with the cash flow, lowering my pasture rent costs. And then I was able to get the CRP payments here for a couple years as well, so that helps with the cash flow as well.
Yeah, for me, I think more of my risk is still in the future. I haven't had any big risk yet, but just buying, all the machinery from the operation. Machinery costs are just crazy high anymore, so that's going to take a large financial investment to get into all of that stuff.
Probably the biggest advantage to it, in my view, is the pre-year-end meetings to know where you're at. There's lots of money to be made other than just farming. You can make $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 a year on tax planning. Second most important being able to compare to your neighbors. My fuel cost is out of line, my herbicide's out of line, that kind of thing. So those are the two things that are very valuable.
Summaries, that looking at the summaries and being able to compare across the association. I think for me, because I didn't come from the farm background, so just sitting, doing the book entry and then sitting in and listening just at our check-in meetings, it helped me learn more about the farm business. And so that just helped me understand more what goes on in the farming business.
I started in 80, so I've lived the ugly, but back in 80 I didn't realize it because that's where I started. That's the way it was. They've started here in some decent years, better than where I started. But you got to be prepared for the bad years. You don't just think it's always good. People a little bit older than them, I think, really got started at a bad time for their long-term good. Because they started at a really good time and, wow, this is easy. It's never easy. It just doesn't work that way.